So I'm back with Cindy for the fourth of our four-part interview series, and this is for the release of your book, The Grizzly's Christmas. So Cindy, can you tell me how you came to be a writer?
Well, the door for me, like I believe most writers, is through reading. And I, I was desperate to read as a kid. I don't know, I was thinking about this morning, that maybe some part of me knew that what I wanted to learn was somewhere in those books, but I know I had no idea what it was. But as I read, I found that the things that weren't immediately around me sometimes were the things that I craved. And the books the books were my maps and internal maps, and that's, I think, what it was. I wanted to learn to add to something like that. I wanted to be able to write something that would be for somebody else what books were for me. So I started writing in about third grade. I wrote a play, and I don't even want to tell you about it. And then I wrote some other stories. Kind of sixth grade was a peak peak year, and as I got older and school got more involved, I always remained a reader, but the writing would kind of shift out, and then ever so often I would realize something was not not quite where it was supposed to be, and that I needed to go back and write to feel kind of complete. When my son was 4 years old, I was able to carve out a little niche of time, and I started. Well, I got back to a story that I'd started before, and I had one of the one of the best experiences in my life. I kind of knew what the story was, and I knew how I wanted it to end, and I thought it was a picture book. And I would come and I would write in that 4-hour period I had once a week, and find out what was happening in the story and kind of meet the characters. It was so much fun. I felt like I was just writing down the words, but I wasn't really making them up. And it was such a voyage of discovery. You know, most writing, at least for me, isn't that really going to the mountaintop kind of experience, but that sustains me knowing that that can be there. And then I also love the part that my latest metaphor for this is sanding. That you go and you write a story, and at least in my experience, I think, wow, this is it, I've got it. And then a little while later, I realize, no, you don't. And there's a rough spot. And so you sand, but the way my father used to use increasingly finer grains of grades of sandpaper, I find that I have to keep doing that over and over again. I'm not somebody who can just get it there, get it exactly right. And it's also that part that we have talked about many times, finding what's there and why you put something there. It meant something to you, even if you don't consciously know the connection at first. But as a writer, you kind of have to find that conscious connection, and know what part of it to emphasize and what part of it is the truth you want to convey. So that's how I got into it.
Great. Thank you so much.